Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. As we all know, it's been a really stressful year for just about everyone on the planet. Just in the UK alone, two-thirds of adults have said that they're feeling somewhat worried about the effects of COVID-19, whether that's being worried about the future or feeling stressed or anxious. On top of that, on top of the additional 278,000 odd food parcels that were requested, over 200,000 food parcels were requested from self-employed and their children. People are struggling in the UK at the moment, but there's one man that I'm very grateful to be joined with today who's looking to change that. Mick Lazarus, the man who's running 100 miles in 1 month. I mean, do you go like 50 miles and then turn around and come back? What's that like?
Yeah, that does sound tempting, but unfortunately, I am trying to do it, evening it out across the month. I should say that this wasn't my idea. I did see somebody else doing something similar, and I thought, well, imitation is the greatest form of flattery, so why not? So the 100 miles in a month, I'm trying to evenly spread out across each day, roughly 3 or 4 miles a day. And so far, 15 days in, I've covered about 63 miles. I'm on track, if not slightly above where I need to be at, and it has been difficult, but I feel like the finish line is getting close now. I'm feeling stronger now than I was at the beginning. So
Wow,
clearly, fitness wise, I think I'm doing okay.
that's incredible to hear. I mean, 60, I'm not sure that I've run 63 miles just in my life. So you've done that in half a month. Really,
No,
really.
I'm sure you have. And actually, put it into context, I think it's roughly from Streatham to Hunstanton and a little bit further. So when I put it in that way, it feels quite nice.
Man, you have to get a train back or something.
Get the train back,
Lift,
yeah,
get an
put it
Uber.
all back, absolutely.
Oh man, well thanks very much for coming onto the show today. I mean, as someone who's physically very reluctant to do anything, I guess the first question is, why are you doing this?
Yeah, well, as you said, I think global pandemic, everyone's struggling, and apart from anything else, I've been stuck at home working from home since March, which is a blessing actually, because a lot of people are struggling and unfortunately have lost their jobs. So I think I'm lucky to have a job, and I thank my lucky stars for that. But in the same breath, being at home, working at home, my home is my home, my home is my work, and there is no escape. So I thought, actually, how can I get myself out of the house and have a bit of focus on something else whilst helping other people? I've always been a bit driven to do something a bit silly and a bit different, whilst recognizing that there are people out there I can help whilst doing that. So I thought, mental health is a big issue, as you said. People are really struggling, in particular young people, and actually those people who were struggling before the pandemic are disproportionately and have been disproportionately impacted by this, and their mental health has been further impacted. And so I thought, rather than support a big charity, I looked for a smaller charity in and around Cambridge, and I found Centre 33. As you said, they support young people up to the age of 25 with mental health issues and well-being issues and with housing problems, etc. I thought it'd be quite nice to support a small charity like that. And also support another charity linked to my hometown, Newcastle, in the Newcastle West End Food Bank. And as you say, they support 3,000 families a month with food parcels. And I thought it'd be nice to help those people who, again, disproportionately impacted by COVID, may well have lost their jobs and haven't got the income coming in and will have to rely on food banks. So I thought those are the two main charities I'll be supporting. I hopefully people will think they're a good cause.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you'd have to be pretty heartless to say that they're not, right? We're getting both the physical and the mental support here, which is obviously fantastic. Supporting the hometown while also bringing something here to Cambridgeshire as well. Right, so you mentioned there the Newcastle Food Bank. I've heard murmurings that they are related in some way to the Newcastle Football Club.
Yeah, that's right. So the food bank itself, so the Newcastle West End Food Bank, formed a close relationship with Newcastle United Football Club following the launch of the NUFC Food Bank in 2019. It's a movement from the supporters trust. And in 2020, Newcastle fans donated over £16,000 to the food bank, which they would otherwise have spent viewing a game. So for me, I thought actually this was a really touching story. I thought, well, if they can do that, then perhaps I can do something as well. So yeah, it's interesting that the food bank itself in the West End has a close relationship with the fans as well. And of course, I'm a massive Newcastle United fan. So I thought, well, I want to get involved in this, So yeah, that was
Yeah.
another driver as well, essentially.
Well, it's incredible seeing just the way the community is banding together, in these difficult
Yeah,
times. And definitely that's something I think we could do with here in Cambridge, as much as everyone is getting together. I mean,
yeah,
you hear a story like that, it's so inspirational. And so you've picked this other charity as well, Centre 33, helping young people with their mental, physical health.
yeah. Yeah, and actually, I have picked up that other football clubs are doing something similar now. Some on a smaller scale and some on a larger scale, but it shows how people coming together can be very powerful.
Incredible. I mean, I think things like this particularly are great because as you said, supporting a smaller charity, I had never actually heard of Centre 33 before,
No,
and the great work that they're doing, helping the more vulnerable youth in and around Cambridge is really, really fantastic.
yeah.
So the running, how does that start? You said that you've seen it, someone else doing it before, but had you had any experience with running before your physical kind of side?
Yeah, so yeah, I've always loved my exercise and I've played a lot of sport. So yeah, I've done a lot of runs. I've probably done over 20 half marathons in my time. But
That's 10
um,
marathons for sure as well.
exactly, yeah. So I do love running. I love a challenge as well, especially physical challenges. A few years ago, I did have an issue with my heart. So I do have a slight heart defect, which has been a challenge over the years to manage, and sometimes it can make me pretty unwell. But the doctors have assured me that it's nothing serious, and actually I should just get on my normal life. So to be perfectly frank, it's more of a psychological issue rather than a physical issue. And actually, so far, I found that as I've run every day, I've felt stronger and stronger. So both physically and mentally as well. It's amazing how going for a short run can just clear your head of all the clutter in there. And I think it's a really good, if people can't go running, they should actually just go for a quick walk each day and, get some fresh air, clear your head. It's really valuable.
Definitely, I think now, especially that we're all stuck inside our homes all
Yeah,
the time. So you
absolutely.
mentioned this heart defect. What was the deal with that?
Yeah, so basically I've got an electrical fault in my heart, which means it misfires from time to time, which in layman's terms, it means it doesn't go regular, so it can go out of rhythm. But the doctor's been fantastic. I've got some great medication and I'm on a level footing now. And I think, it's so easy I could just sit back and feel sorry for myself. But actually, in the grand scheme of things, there are people who have got significantly worse issues. We all can look back at Sir Tom when he did that
Yeah,
100 laps and think, at 100 years old, if he can do that, then I can, easily cover 3 miles, 4 miles a day. It's no great shake. So I think you have to challenge yourself. Well, I love a challenge anyway, so I have to challenge yourself. And I could sit back and feel sorry for myself, but I'm not that sort of bloke.
insane. I don't think I've ever heard someone so casually say, just my heart is wrong electrically. That it's just and it's incredible that you're pushing through that and you're still so determined to get this work done. So how's it been so far? About half a month in, you said you're a little over halfway done with the
Yeah.
distance. How are you feeling? Talk me through it.
I'm feeling good. Yeah, the weather has been a challenge at times. It's been, as everyone knows, it's been pretty cold, and the wind chill's been about -6 to -7 at times when I've been going out early morning. So it's been difficult, I have to say. But when I'm feeling that pain and you're feeling that it's getting difficult, I always think, every step I'm taking, I'm getting closer to the finish, and I'm hopefully raising some money for those two charities. And I think that's always in the back of my mind. If I wasn't doing for the charity, I think it would be much more difficult because there's almost no motivation other than my own self motivation. But this is the motivation is for those two charities and to raise as much as I possibly can for them. So I think I'm going good. I say I'm probably slightly above where I need to be at. I varied my runs a bit as well, so taking different routes. Again, I'm quite fortunate that there's some nice little runs around my village, and people have been very supportive. They want to see me go, and I think a lot of people know what I'm doing, and have encouraged me to say, keep going. You're doing really well. So I think, I think. I think I'm in a good place at the moment, and the weather's supposed to warm up as well, so hopefully it's going to get slightly easier. And if I get to the 100 miles before the end of the month, I'll keep going. I'll keep going until I get to the 28 and see where we're at. But
Brilliant. Well, I mean, those charities must be so excited to hear about it as well.
yeah, I hope so. I mean, to be honest, I haven't even reached out to them. I almost want to keep it's a bit of a surprise. So when I'm done, I'll say
Bam, money.
just done this, and this is what I've raised for both the charities. And of course, it's not going to be a huge amount of money, but I'm hoping the target of £500. If I can get to 500, £250 for each charity will go an awful long way. So that is still the target, and if I can get anywhere near that, I'll be really, really pleased.
Absolutely, as I think everyone should be. It's an incredible thing that you're doing, and hopefully we can smash that £500 target. I really do implore everyone watching this, if you have any sort of heartbeat in yourself, reach out. We'll link all the charities in the description down below, as well as the fundraiser where you can go and donate to Mix Run.
Yeah, it's very kind. I should say as well that my eldest daughter's tooth fell out a few weeks ago, and she put her tooth under the pillow as you do, as tradition allows. And she wrote the tooth fairy a note to say, "My dad's doing a run for charity. Can you also leave him some money as well. So the next morning there was a pound for my daughter from the Tooth Fairy, and a pound for me for my charity. So far the fund is looking at, it's £260 on the Just Giving page, and £1 from the Tooth Fairy.
That's incredible. I was worried. I heard that she was maybe, going to lose her job now that she
Yeah,
can't
no,
like make people's toes and stuff. She's found a way.
she's still in full-time employment, I believe. So yeah, thanks for the Tooth Fairy. I'm £1 better off.
That's the sweetest thing I think I've ever heard in my life. Incredible. Mick, I must say, I think you have the coolest name of anyone I've ever met as well. Mick Lazarus.
Yeah, it's funny. Mick is quite a common name. They got Lazarus, which is quite rare. So yeah, I do get it. Does get Phil's attention, I suppose.
Definitely. Donate, if nothing else, than for
Because
the
of the
name.
name, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, Mick, thank you so much for coming onto the show, sharing the story. Hopefully, we can get some support. As I said before, everything linked down below, the charities and the fundraiser where you can go and support Mick. And hey, if you can't spare a couple pennies, why not give a share? Get the word out there. Because if you can't, maybe someone else can. Mick Lazarus, thanks so much. Best of luck with the end of your run.
Thank you very much.